Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all are taking a good care of yourself. So, children, let us start today's mathematics class of grade 10th. This is class 10th, subject mathematics, chapter number 6, triangles, lecture number 10, and content I am going to cover from your textbook, that is NCERT. Children, in today's lecture number 10 of chapter number 6 triangles, the topics which I am going to cover, they are number 1, first of all I will make you recall the statement of theorem 6.8, which is actually Pythagoras theorem, which I made you understand yesterday in my previous video. After that, children, I will be making you learn theorem 6.9, which is actually the converse of Pythagoras theorem. And ultimately, we will be doing some sums based on above both the theorems from exercise 6.5. Understood? So children, our first topic is, first of all, we are going to recall the statement of Pythagoras theorem. So what does Pythagoras theorem say? In a right angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse. You know what is hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is the biggest side of a right angled triangle. It is basically that side which is just opposite of 90 degree. The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides. What do we call those two sides? The first side is known as altitude and the another side is known as base. Okay. So basically, through Pythagoras theorem, we came to know that hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. Got it, students? So children, let us start today's main content, that is theorem 6.9, which is converse of Pythagoras theorem. In Pythagoras theorem, children, you know very well that you will be having a right angled triangle given, and you proved that the sum of the square of base as well as altitude is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. Fine. Here we are going to deal with the converse of Pythagoras theorem. So let us read its statement so that we can conclude what is given and what we have to find out. So in a triangle, here you will be having given a triangle, a simple triangle. There is no specification given that what kind of triangle is given. Okay. If the square of one side is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides. Here we do not know what is the name of that particular side whose square is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides. Means we do not know whether it is a hypotenuse or not. Why? Because we are not going to deal with a right angled triangle. We will be having a triangle given only. Clear? Then the angle which is opposite the first side. Which first side? Whose square is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides. That will be a right angle. Have you understood the statement? Here we have to prove that the triangle will be right angled triangle, and the angle which is opposite to that side whose square is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides, that will be a right angle. Clear? Okay. So now what is given to us? We will be having a triangle ABC given, in which I have just taken from my own choice that AC square. This is that side whose square is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides, that is AB square plus BC square. This has been given to us. And what we have to prove here, while observing this relation, you may have come to know that this angle which is just opposite of AC, that will definitely be angle B, correct? So angle B is equal to 90 degree. This I have to prove. So children, I am going to do a construction to prove the converse of Pythagoras theorem. But before that, first of all, what we have to do, I have drawn a triangle. This is triangle ABC. Here you don't think that 90 degree you will be having given. This is not given. Okay, you have to just draw a triangle, that is triangle ABC. Clear? Now, what was the part of the construction? I have constructed another right angled triangle, a right angled triangle which is right angle at Q, such that there is one right angled triangle drawn. What is the name of that right angled triangle which I have taken in construction? That is triangle PQR. What I have to prove basically? I have to prove that angle Q is equal to angle B, so that angle B will become of 90 degree, and whatever I wanted to prove, that will be fulfilled. Correct? So here I have taken a triangle ABC. Right now I do not know that B is of 90 degree. Correct? So you have just taken that there is one angle B also in triangle ABC, and this is right angle triangle, that is PQR. One more thing I have taken in construction, that PQ I have to take in such a way that it must be equal to AB, and QR will be taken in such a way that it must be equal to BC. Correct, students? So now what we have to do in its proof, I have taken that right angle triangle which I have constructed in my construction. So in triangle PQR we have, as you know, just look at this diagram. It is right angle at Q. So it means PR must be hypotenuse. So PR square is equal to PQ square plus RQ square. Correct? So this I have taken. PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square using Pythagoras theorem. Now children, did you observe one thing? That in construction I drew a triangle PQR in such a way so that PQ must be equal to AB and RQ must be equal to BC. So what I am going to do, it implies to PR square will remain as it is. This is equal to, at place of PQ, I have taken AB square plus at place of QR square I am going to take BC square. Okay, so let it consider as equation number 2, and what was given, that was considered as equation number 1. Means AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square is equation number 1. Got it, children? Okay. Now from equation number 1 and 2, what did you observe? Let me write equation number 1 here so that you can better understand the concept. This is AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. This is equation number 1. Here also AB square plus BC square is equal to PR square. Correct? So in equation number 1 as well as in equation number 2, right hand side is equal. This is also equal to AB square plus BC square. Here also AB square plus BC square is written. So if right hand sides are equal, then can I say that left hand side will also be equal? Of course. So it implies to AC square is equal to PR square. So it implies to AC will also be equal to PR, because if the square of two values are equal, so it means the values will also be equal in that case. Correct? So AC must be equal to PR. Correct? Children, don't be confused in this relation. For example, if I have taken 2 square which is 4 and minus 2 square which is also 4, though the squares are same, but you can think that the values are not same. Here the value is 2 and here the value is minus 2. But children, always remember we are going to deal with the side of the triangles, and the sides can never ever be negative. Okay, that's why we have concluded as AC square is equal to PR square. So we can say that AC must be equal to PR. Correct? Now in triangle ABC as well as in triangle PQR, what was taken in construction? AB must be equal to PQ. This was taken in construction. See, at place of PQ I placed AB, and QR is equal to BC. So here I have written BC is equal to QR. And we have just proved from equation number 1 as well as from equation number 2 that AC is equal to PR. Means all the three sides of first triangle are equal to the corresponding sides of the other triangle. They are equal. They are not in the same ratio. Again I am repeating. All the three sides of first triangle are equal to the corresponding sides of the another triangle. So by triple S congruency criteria rule, we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. So if both the triangles are congruent to each other, it means all the three angles, each and every angle of first triangle, that is triangle ABC, must be equal to the corresponding three angles of the triangle PQR. Means angle A must be equal to angle P, angle B must be equal to angle Q, and of course angle C must be equal to angle R. They all are corresponding angles of each other. Correct? So by CPCT, by corresponding parts of the congruent triangle, we can say that angle B is equal to angle Q. But children, when I constructed a right angled triangle, just have a look on this sheet, that is triangle PQR. What was taken? It was a right angle triangle, right angle at Q. Now Q is equal to 90 degree. And I have proved that angle B and angle Q both are equal. So it means I can say that angle B will also be equal to 90 degree. The same thing we wanted to prove. Got it? So here the same thing is written as angle B is equal to angle Q by corresponding parts of congruent triangle. But I know that angle Q is equal to 90 degree. So angle B will also be of 90 degree. Hence proved. What did we prove? Tell me, what did we prove? We have proved that in a triangle, the square of one side is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides. Then the angle which is opposite of the first side is angle B equal to AC square. Yes, of course. If this angle is equal to, if this angle is opposite of the side AC square, it means it must be equal to 90 degree. Correct? It must be a right angle. Got it? Okay. Now children, I have finished with this theorem, that is 6.9, which is converse of Pythagoras theorem. Now I am going to take few questions in which the application of 6.7 theorem, which was basically required to solve Pythagoras. Okay, then 6.8 theorem, that is Pythagoras itself, and of course 6.9, which is the converse of Pythagoras theorem. The usage of all these theorems I am going to explain you now while taking different problems from exercise 6.5. Got it? Okay. So as question number 1 and question number 2 were quite simple, so I have given you to do at home. Let us start with question number 3. In figure 6.53, ABD is a triangle right angled at A. Just look at here. This is ABD. This is a right angled triangle. Correct? Which is right angle at A. Got it? And AC is perpendicular to BD. You can see this AC is perpendicular to BD. Though angle A itself is of 90 degree. Fine. Then we have to show that first part AB square is equal to BC into BD. Second part AC square is equal to BC into DC. And in third part we have to prove that AD square is equal to BD into CD. Got it? Now just look at the diagram. This is triangle ABD, which is a right angled triangle, right angle at angle A. Correct? And a perpendicular is drawn from this right angle to the hypotenuse. What is hypotenuse? Definitely BD is the hypotenuse. Okay, in triangle ABD. So one more perpendicular is drawn from this right angle to its opposite side, which is hypotenuse. Now what we have to prove, in first part we have to prove that AB square is equal to BC into BD. So children, you just notice here, I want AB square means I want AB 2 times. So can you guess which particular triangle I have to choose, which particular triangles I have to choose so that I can get AB square? So first of all, AB is lying in triangle ACB. Here it is AB. And of course in the bigger triangle, that is DAB. Again AB is coming. Okay. So as I know that I have to prove AB square. So how can I get this AB square? I can get it only while proving these two triangles, that is triangle ACB and triangle DAB, similar to each other, so that later I can take the relation between the corresponding sides. Okay, so I have taken the triangle ACB, look, and triangle DAB. The same concept I have made you understand in theorem 6.7 also. So this is the time to recall that concept and solve this problem. Correct? So now children, in triangle ACB, angle 4 is of 90 degree. And in triangle DAB, complete angle A, that is 1 plus 2 is of 90 degree. Correct? So angle 4 is equal to angle 1 plus 2. And angle B, which is actually angle 3, is common. Correct? So can I say by double asimilarity criteria, triangle ACB is similar to triangle DAB. So here it is written that triangle ACB is similar to triangle DAB by double asimilarity criteria. Children, as you know that whenever there are two triangles which are proved similar to each other, then we know that their corresponding sides are in the same ratio. So let us take the corresponding side, but make sure you have to take side AB, side BD, and of course side BC. You have to take these very sides only. So let us start taking, but I want AB square also, make sure. So here I have taken AB. So definitely what would be the corresponding side? That would be DB. So AB upon DB is equal to, now I have taken again AB in denominator. Why? So that if I cross multiply, I can get AB square on left hand side. So if I am going to take AB here from the second triangle, so definitely I have to take CB here. Correct? So this is equal to CB upon AB. While cross multiplying, I have got AB square is equal to DB into CB. So it implies to, can I write AB square is equal to, in place of this DB, can I write BD? Of course. And in place of this CB, I can write BC. Why? Because B is common. So if you are writing B here in front, so here also you have to write at the first position. Clear? Now let us switch to the second part. In second part, we have to prove that AC square is equal to BC into DC. Here again I have drawn the diagram for your convenience. Please be alert. Now I want AC square. Where is AC? This is AC. So I want this side occurring twice. So definitely which particular triangle I have to choose? I have to choose BCA. So that CA means AC is coming. And I have to take ACD. ACD means these two smaller triangles I have to take. Correct? And I have explained you how to prove the similarity of these two smaller triangles also in that theorem 6.7. So this is the time to recall the concept once again. So in triangle BCA and in triangle ACD, these two smaller triangles I am talking about, angle 4 is equal to angle 5. Reason behind, because each is of 90 degree. Correct? Now children, I am going to take triangle BCA. Do you remember I explained you that instead of 90 degree angle, I have to take the sum of rest 2. That will also give you the result equal to 90. So angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 90 degree. Correct? Which is equation number 1. Got it? Okay. Now I am going to take another triangle which is the bigger one. Always make sure you have to take one smaller triangle and you have to take another bigger one. Here I have taken this triangle. That is triangle BCA. You could take this one also. Which one? That is ACD. Could also be taken. This is one and the same thing. So in triangle BAD, means the bigger one BAD. Again you leave this 90 degree and take the sum of rest 2. That would give you the sum as 90 degree. That is angle 3 plus angle 6 is equal to 90 degree. Let it consider as equation number 2. Now in equation number 1, angle 2 plus angle 3 is 90 degree. In equation 2, angle 3 plus angle 6 is 90 degree. So when right hand sides are equal, so definitely left hand side will also be equal. So angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to angle 3 plus angle 6. 3 and 3 are going to be cancelled. So angle 2 is equal to angle 6. Look, this angle 2 is equal to angle 6. 4 and 5 are automatically equal. And of course, angle 1 is also equal to angle 3. That I explained you when I explained you theorem. Fine. So if you want to go with double A similarity criteria, so that we have proved. So by double A similarity criteria, we can say that triangle BCA is similar to triangle ACD. Correct, students? Okay. Now just look at here in to prove. I want AC square. So how can I get AC? Definitely here in numerator as well as in denominator I have to take AC, so that while cross multiplying them I can get AC square. So let us take here AC. Here this is AC upon, definitely you have to take DC, is equal to, now I want AC in denominator, and in denominator this triangle is providing us the values. So this is AC again in denominator. If here I am taking AC, so what should I take here? BC. That would give you the value at numerator place, correct? So this is BC upon AC. Got it? Now while cross multiplying, I have got AC square is equal to BC into DC. The same thing we wanted to prove in part number 2. Look. Understood? Okay. Now I am going to take part number 3. What I have to prove? I have to prove that AD square is equal to BD into CD. Just look at the figure. AD square means this side I want twice. So can you help me in choosing the right triangles so that I can get this AD 2 times? Correct. I have to choose one, this triangle, that is ACD, this one, and of course the complete bigger one, because this AD side is occurring in complete triangle, that is BAD, and in triangle ACD. Got it? So let us take in triangle ACD and triangle BAD. Angle 5 is equal to angle 1 plus angle 2. Let us check. This is angle 5, which is 90 degree in triangle ACD. Okay. So this is equal to complete angle A, that is angle 1 plus angle 2. Both are of 90 degree. And angle 6 is common. In which two triangles? In triangle ACD and triangle BAD. Again D is occurring twice. So angle 6 is equal to angle 6 common. So again by double A similarity criteria, what can I say? That triangle ACD is similar to triangle BAD. Got it? So now here I have written that by double A similarity criteria, triangle ACD is similar to triangle BAD. Now children, as I want AD square. So how can I get AD? Definitely I will be getting AD twice, one at numerator as well as another as denominator. Okay. So this is AD upon BD will be taken is equal to, this is CD upon AD again. Got it? Why I am taking this relation? Because I know that both the triangles are similar. So definitely the corresponding sides must be in the same ratio. And I am not going to use the third relation. Why? Because I don't require it. I just want to prove that AD square is equal to BD into CD. So that has been proved while cross multiplying. AD square is equal to BD into CD, hence proved. Clear children? So this to prove will help you basically to choose the right triangles. That depends which particular side square is demanded in the question. You may take two small triangles also, prove their similarity. You can take one small, one bigger also. You can take another small, the bigger one also. So that depends on your appropriate choice only, and this to prove will help you to choose the right triangles. Got it? Okay, now I am going to take one more problem based on the same theorems. This is question number 5. ABC is an isosceles triangle. What is isosceles triangle? Isosceles triangle is that triangle in which two sides are equal in length and the third one will be unequal to them, with AC is equal to BC. So you have to construct an isosceles triangle in such a way so that AC must appear equal to BC. Correct? If AB square is equal to twice of AC square, then we have to prove that ABC is a right angled triangle. So we have to prove that ABC is a right angled triangle and we have to use this given condition. So now just look at this solution. First of all, draw an isosceles triangle. Here I have drawn an isosceles triangle with AC is equal to BC. Here AC is equal to BC side. So let it consider as equation number 1. Now what else is given to us in the question? That AB square is equal to twice of AC square. So children, can I write it? AB square is equal to AC square plus AC square, because AC square plus AC square will again become twice of AC square. Okay. So as I know that AC is equal to BC, so just put the value of AC from equation number 1 in this expression, in this equation. So what I am going to get? I have got AB square is equal to AC square plus, at place of this AC square I am writing BC square from equation number 1. So children, just observe this. You may have concluded that now I am going to apply the converse of Pythagoras theorem. So what is the statement of the converse of Pythagoras theorem? That in a triangle, if the square of one side is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides. Here AB square is equal to the sum of the square of AC square, the sum of the square of AC as well as BC. Okay. So AB square is equal to AC square plus BC square. It means in a triangle, if the square of one side is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides, then the angle opposite to this first side must be of 90 degree. So here definitely I have proved thus triangle ABC is right angled triangle which is right angle at C. You could draw like this also for your convenience. But in question you have to draw isosceles triangle only. Here to make you understand that how C become right angle, that for that I have drawn this right angle triangle. Here I have taken ABC. Okay. You know this AB square is equal to AC square plus BC square. So this condition was given in the converse of Pythagoras theorem, and what did we prove? That the angle opposite to this side, whose square is equal to the sum of the square of other two sides, will be of 90 degree. So thus it is proved that there will be ABC a right angle triangle which is right angle at C. Got it? So that's it for the day. Please get your mathematics homework. Your maths homework is you have to do question first, all 4 parts. Let me tell you what is there in these 4 parts. You will be having 3 dimensions given. 3 sides of a triangle are given. You have to just check whether those 3 sides belong to the right angled triangle or not. You have to just find out the square of all the 3 sides, and you have to check whether the square of the biggest side is equal to the sum of the square of other 2 sides or not. If it is there, then definitely it is going to form a right angle triangle, otherwise not. So quite simple question. Question number 2, question number 4 and question number 6 of exercise 6.5. In homework notebook along with classwork questions, whatever classwork question, that was theorem 6.9 which is converse of Pythagoras theorem, and I have taken question number 3, all 3 parts, question number 5 of exercise 6.5. I want to wind up with my lecture while just giving one small hint to solve question number 6. In question number 6, children, you will be asked to calculate the altitude of an equilateral triangle. There is a formula for this. Just memorize this formula as you have learnt the formula of area of equilateral triangle. So let us recall both the formulae. Area of equilateral triangle is equal to root 3 by 4 a square. This is side square actually. Okay. And altitude of an equilateral triangle is equal to root 3 by 2 into side. So you can directly apply formula to calculate the altitude of an equilateral triangle in question number 6. There is no need to apply the concept of similarity because the question will hardly come of 1 mark. Okay, so you can directly apply the formula and get the result. Understood? So that's it for the day. Please like the video and do not forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.